Hey everybody, we're back. I think they took less than an hour lunch. Like for some reason, I feel like they came back so quick. All right, but anyways, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. Here we go.
Okay.
So we have experts here because they said they were coming experts. That's a deposition that's recorded that can be played anytime.
It is an order that I wanted to go before my next expert.
Well, you said your other person was next.
We would request a jury out regarding Dr. Larkin as we were provided with.
Okay, hang on, you're jumping to something else on me now. So you want me to order the defense who to call first?
Your Honor, I'm simply asking that we have a jury out about this document that we just received.
Let's go back. Are you objecting to them playing the deposition at this point?
Yes, because we just asked Dr. Carney to leave her job and come over here to assist us with their defense experts, and they said that's who they would call.
You did say that.
I never said who I was calling next, Your Honor. I said I had experts today that I was calling. We have not stated who we were calling next.
So you want to play the deposition, which is a 50-something minute long.
Yes,
You want her to go, so you want me to order them to do that?
Judge, I'm simply asking if we could have a jury out so Your Honor can make a determination if Dr. Larkin will be allowed to testify, because we just received a report that we have not had. It has an opinion and a conclusion about the cause of death of Jade Benning.
I haven't even seen that, Your Honor. So if she gave him a report, it's not
Right,
something.
your staff said they had everything.
That's been emailed. When they said that they emailed that over, that is what they emailed over.
When?
This morning, this afternoon, I don't even know if it was morning.
She
Let me see what
prepared
you're-
for her testimony today.
Is it a report?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it a report?
Let me take a look and I'll let you know.
Okay.
Well, I asked the court to make that
Hang on.
Judge, we received it.
Hang on. I gotta get the definition of what a report is first.
It is definitely her opinion, so, but this is not something that we've had in the past. This is something that she formulated for her testimony.
When?
I'm assuming, I don't have to ask the probably yesterday.
Letter, is it a she?
Yes, I'm sure it's yesterday.
Chief Dr. Kelly Larkin is out there.
No, she's not here yet. She is my last witness. So I was under the assumption that I could call my witnesses in the order that I wanted.
That's normally the case. I was just trying to help do this jury out here while Dr. Carney was here.
She's not here yet.
So let me have that, make a copy of that. Can Dr. Carney come back? Who is Janice Lindsay?
She is a toxicologist.
And who is Dr. Mario Bartolome?
He is a toxicologist medical review officer.
And they're gonna be testifying about, someone said the cause of death.
In regards to Dr. Larkin, yes,
And Dr. Kelly Larkin is what?
she is an ER doctor, a medical doctor.
Not a forensic pathologist.
No,
And you wanna ask her what, you just found that out, what her opinion is today, so what are you wanting to ask her?
I want to ask,
What is her opinion?
her opinion is that this was more in line with a fentanyl overdose and what she's seen in the ER as opposed to a cocaine overdose.
Based on levels of fentanyl that are not reported.
No, based on the symptoms that were explained
Then
and described.
okay, so back to my question, whether Dr. Carney is available prior to Dr. Larkin testifying, if she does.
Judge, are you asking if she's available tomorrow based on?
No, we're gonna finish today, I'm talking about today.
She will move things to be here.
Okay, all right, well, I guess we've got an hour-long deposition. Where are the few extra text messages that you're wanting to introduce? Do you have a copy of those?
Yes, they're putting it on a thumb drive now.
It's where?
They're putting it on a thumb drive, so
I'm talking about copies, hard copies that I can look at and see if it's relevant.
we don't have a printer here, so we would have to go back.
You don't have a
to the
printer
office.
here?
We do, but it's out of paper. So we don't have paper here. So we have to go to Ms. Riddle's office. This is
Here,
not our
there's
office.
some paper right there. So,
No, that's not.
no, it's just 30. So get those printed out now, delivered in here to me, so I can look at them, so we don't waste more time. So we've got potentially, I don't know, I guess Dr. Carney, she can be available 4 o'clock or something. Okay. And on the deposition, the court reporter made me aware that there's an objection on page 28 about an exhibit, but then there's nothing else. The testimony just goes on without an issue. Is that accurate from the state's perspective?
Looked at that in a while. I do remember I objected one time and I don't feel like it was worth rejecting it.
Okay.
That was your question.
Have you reviewed some record before your testimony that it just went on? So that's, I don't need to make a ruling on that.
It's not my it's my understanding you do not.
Okay.
I don't know if the defense was asking about it.
We're not.
Okay, let the jury step. Yeah.
Just to clarify for Dr. Carney's schedule, Dr. Larkin will be here at 4 o'clock and we're doing that at 4 o'clock.
I'm just guessing. I don't know how long or how many the text messages will come in with Mr. Devlin. I don't know how long Bartholomew or Lindsay will take. I don't know. Are they here?
They are here. Dr. Larkin is our last witness.
And where is she?
She should be here in 20 minutes or so,
Okay.
maybe by 3. But she's our last witness.
So maybe it's 5 o'clock. I don't know.
Judge, these are the messages they gave me previously and they say they have 30 more. Just for
Actually, it's
reference.
not, it's probably shorter than that.
Can you get me someone on your
They're printing it now.
Staff, give me what you're trying to introduce through Mr. Depp. Can they get that?
They're getting it now.
Okay. All right.
Judge, before the jury comes in with respect to the witness, Dr. San Bartolome,
Look,
this morning, we discussed notes, anything, information, like we were advised, the court's hearing that everything had been sent, and at 1:52 this afternoon, we received yet another packet of notes.
So,
Dr. San
staff
Bartolome.
wrong.
once we were finished, yes, they
Was
were
your
wrong,
staff
they were
wrong?
wrong.
Let
And
me
once
see
we were
what he's
finished,
got there.
I went and I spoke with all of my experts, and out of abundance of caution, I asked them to turn over everything they had. I was following what the state had been doing. So I
I'm
didn't
not
know
worried
that this
about
was
what the
something.
state's been doing. We're hearing what you're doing.
Well, I have to follow the leader of you, so.
No, you have to follow the rules.
They do too, Your Honor.
So then let me know if you think they have it. So is this,
I'm sure the court would know that her team had it apparently at 10:03 a.m.
have you seen this, Ms. Holmes?
No, I haven't. That's not my witness. Can I see it?
It's not what?
Is that Bartholomew? That's not my witness, so no, I haven't. But I'm sure Mr. Joyner may have.
Bartholomew is not your witness?
No, he's Mr. Joyner's witness.
Okay, I thought you were speaking for everybody. Has anybody to the west side of me, to my right, in a southwesterly direction, including the individual seated at the defense counsel table, had this?
No, I'm not entirely sure what that is, but I did receive the email at 10:03, which I did.
Why didn't Ms. Hollins know that you were, why didn't you pop up and say, hey, wait a minute, whoop, whoop, wait a minute?
I could have, Your Honor, I didn't check my email, unfortunately.
So you didn't get that until when? Now, when did you, I know it was sent 10:03, when did you get it?
I believe whenever we was anticipating breaking for lunch, Your Honor, I double checked my email.
Anticipating, when was that?
We came back at 1:50, so it had been around an hour before that.
Okay, so when Ms. Hollins was saying that's it, and confirmed with Ms. Miller or whoever this young lady is, that that's it, you knew it wasn't?
No, sir, I did not know it was.
Oh, I thought you said you had looked at it in anticipation of lunch. Let me see if that. Is the defense anticipating getting into information in this document?
What information specifically are you referencing, Your Honor?
The sensitivity of identifying a woman with a substance abuse use problem is 80 to 88%, and sensitivity is 35 to 37%. I have no idea what that means, but that's what I'm asking about.
It is my understanding that Dr. Mario has treated pregnant women with substance abuse issues. Substance use issues, rather not abuse, but substance use issues.
So, what does that have to do with this case?
We have a pregnant woman who we believe had substance use issues, Your Honor.
And then he's gonna say what?
He's going to opine in his professional opinion about whether or not being pregnant is a barrier or an automatic stoppage to a person using substances.
Well, everybody in the nation knows that.
It's not like when it comes from an expert, Your Honor.
Because this goes back to our previous objection.
So you're wanting, hang on, you're wanting this jury to hear from Mr. Dr. Bartholomew that pregnant women should not use drugs, alcohol, or illicit substances.
No, not that, Your Honor. There's been an assertion in the state's case in chief that once Ms. Benning became pregnant, any prior use stopped.
Do you have proof from Dr. Bartholomew that she did?
That she did stop?
No, that she did use.
We believe that she continued to be involved in.
Does he know that?
Yes, he's reviewed the records in this case, Your Honor.
What record?
He's reviewed medical records, he's reviewed text messages, he's reviewed.
Medical records show that she was using drugs.
Medical records show the absence of a test while she was pregnant, Your Honor.
Absence of a what?
Testing, drug testing. Actually, there was testimony
Does
that.
that mean she used?
No, that does not mean that she used, but she did have propylene in her system, which suggests that she could have.
Everybody, they're saying she used too much cocaine.
Well, but they decided on alcohol, Your Honor, and there's propylene in her system.
Yeah, and that can be argued for the jury. So what does Dr. Bartholomew have any information directly about Ms. Benning's drug usage?
He has direct information that was derived from the text messages in her phone, that was derived from the medical records, specifically regarding the OB/GYN records, where
They didn't do it, so that's just a non-issue. What else?
For Your Honor, those two things are central to our defensive theory. If the state is willing to allege she could have not taken the substance because she was pregnant.
Yeah, she could have taken the substance.
I know, Your Honor, that's not the argument we made.
Does the state agree she could have taken a substance?
Anything, there's no evidence, there's no proof about it, all
Does
this
the
is
state agree that Ms. Benning could have taken a substance?
and this witness would not materially assist the
The answer
jury
is yes.
in understanding that.
Okay. All right, we'll have a jury out as to whether he has any relevant information and whether this should have been provided to the state.
Your Honor, I just received a text from Mr. Wiseman in regards to his witness, Dr. Bucalari.
Well,
He is asking if it's possible to put this witness on prior to the planning of the deposition. I told him that I would speak with the court. She should be very short. And
that's
so,
up to you. You said it had to be this deposition next.
I just didn't want it to be Dr. Larkin for certain, but I can accommodate.
You said
Dr.
you wanted to
Larkin.
put this deposition on next.
I do.
So you want to call Dr. Bucalari next or the deposition?
And if we're allowed, I will let him know that he can bring her over. She's very.
She's not even here.
No, since
Okay,
he's
bring the jury down. We'll play this deposition.
One last thing, do we have anything from Dr. Jancy Lindsay?
we just turned it over.
Is that the notes that you were throwing around?
Those are not even notes. Those are articles that she relies on. It's not jinx material. It's not anything that we are turning over or trying to admit, but out of an abundance of caution, we turned it over. So we have what we had.
So no notes or no reports?
We gave you notes as well.
It doesn't matter what's been said, it can change.
Notes,
That's supposed to be the law.
but of who? What does it say?
That from Dr. Lindsay. That's what you asked for. That's what you have.
Let the jury step in. Is the next witness on behalf of the defendant?
The defense calls Alyssa Smith by deposition.
Okay, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, the jury, this witness, by agreement, their deposition was taken since they were unable to be here this week for some reason that the party's aware that they couldn't be here, so that's going to be played for you, and you can analyze that testimony as you would if the person was here and live and in person. Okay.
Judge, I'm sorry, we had a recording done of this witness. I don't know. I think this is the.
What did you say?
If that's not how we had the deposition recorded, but if it, I don't know if it's.
That's the court reporter's recording.
Correct, we had somebody from our office that came and videotaped it.
Is this not, okay?
I haven't seen this, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
Oh, all right.
Just for the record, this is the deposition of Alyssa Smith related to State versus Blaise Taylor on Friday, April 17th, 2026. Ms. Smith, could you please state your full name for the record?
Yeah, Alyssa Smith.
And could you spell your first name for the court reporter?
ALYSSA.
Ms. Smith, where are you employed?
Vanderbilt Lifeline.
You said Vanderbilt Lifeline, is that correct? Can you explain what is Vanderbilt Lifeline?
We provide pre-hospital care across a bunch of different service lines, from events to flight to ground transports.
And what is your position?
I'm a critical care paramedic.
Can you explain what the critical care paramedic does?
We provide life-saving interventions in a pre-hospital setting.
And that pre-hospital setting, can you describe, are you on an ambulance or some type of vehicle, or where are you normally physically working?
In my current role, I can be positioned on an ambulance, or I can just be in a venue. It just kind of depends on my assignment.
And would you ever sometimes be at Vanderbilt University Medical Center?
Working currently, we're not working at the hospital.
And how long have you been in that position at Vanderbilt?
In my current role since fall of 2023.
And prior to fall of 2023, what did you do?
I was working at the ER at Vanderbilt Adult.
And what was your position in Vanderbilt's emergency department?
Paramedic.
And can you describe what was your role in patient care when you were a paramedic in the Vanderbilt emergency department?
We were mostly support for the nurses. Anything that they would need, IVs, medications, we would work traumas, anything that would come in. We were just kind of support for the doctors and nurses there.
Okay. And that position is an EMT position, but it's a position at Vanderbilt Hospital. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's a paramedic position.
And so there are other paramedics that would work for National Fire Department with ambulance services. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And specifically, were you working in that position as an EMT at the Universal Emergency Department in February of 2023?
Yeah, I was working as a paramedic.
And were you working specifically on the night of February 25th, 2023 into the early morning of February 26th?
I was.
And while you were working, were you involved in providing any patient care to patient Jade Benning?
I don't remember.
In preparation for testifying today, did you review records to verify whether or not you were involved in any patient care related to Jade Benning?
Yes.
And were you involved in any way?
Yes.
And specifically, did you ever administer fentanyl to Jade Benning? And did you review records related to whether or not you administered fentanyl to Jade Benning?
Yes.
And in the records, there is an entry from February 25th, 2023 at 23 and 27 hours that indicates that fentanyl was dispensed. Did you review those records?
Yes.
And can you explain, what does it mean when a medication is dispensed?
When we are pulling it from the medication dispensing machine in preparation to either have it on hand to give or to give to the patient.
And did you locate in the records whether or not you actually administered that fentanyl that was dispensed 23 hours and 27 minutes on February 25th of 2023?
No.
And no, you didn't review the records, or no, it wasn't?
It wasn't administered.
Okay, so it was not administered?
No.
Did the records indicate what happened to that fentanyl that was dispensed?
It was wasted.
And can you explain why would it be wasted, and what does that mean?
Yes, on the note on the document, it states the patient condition changed.
And so that fentanyl specifically was not administered to the patient, is that correct?
That's correct.
I can have just a moment. Thank you, Ms. Smith. I don't have any other questions.
Ms. Smith, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Letitia Quinones Hollins, and I'm going to be asking you some questions. If at any time you don't understand anything or feel like I need to rephrase, please let me know, and I'll do my best, okay? I want to talk to you a little bit about your background. Are you from Nashville?
I'm not.
Oh, where are you from?
Arkansas.
Okay. And what part of Arkansas are you from?
Jonesboro.
When did you come to Nashville? When did you come to Nashville?
Fall of 2021.
Did you come here to go to school?
Yes.
And what school did you attend?
NOC College of Art for my bachelor's in photography.
I'm sorry,
NOC College of Art.
Nelsie?
NOC.
Spell it for me.
NOSSI.
Oh, Nelsie, okay. College of Art. And you got a degree in photography? Would that be a bachelor's? And what did you do after you graduated? What year was it that you graduated?
May of 2025.
So this last year? Congratulations. How old are you?
Thank you. 26.
26. And so then if we go back to 2023, were you in school then? You have to speak out loud so she can.
Sorry,
That's okay. Yes. Okay. And what year were you in?
What age was I?
And what year of college were you?
Okay. I started in fall of 2021.
Okay. And went straight through? Okay. When you were doing your studies at Nassau College of Arts, did you get any type of training in any medical training there?
From the college, yeah.
Okay. And did you get any type of medical training anywhere?
Yes,
And where were they?
Arkansas State University.
Okay. So I'm assuming before you came to Nashville, you were also in school in Jonesboro,
Yes,
at Arkansas State.
yes.
And what were you studying there?
That's where I obtained my EMT basic and my paramedic license.
How long does it take to get EMT and paramedic license?
EMT is typically a semester, paramedic is typically 12 months straight through.
Does the semester that you take for the EMT go towards the year to become a paramedic as well? So they're separate and apart.
Yes,
And so then that would be a year and a half that you studied in order to become an EMT and a certified paramedic as well.
yes.
What is the difference between an EMT and a paramedic?
Scope of practice.
Scope of practice? What is the difference in the scopes?
A paramedic is able to treat and do more, interpret 12 leads, start IVs, administer medications.
Things of that nature.
Yes.
And an EMT is only able to do what?
They're typically the driver, and they're there to support their medic and, anything they can help them do during treatment.
Okay, fair enough. They are not allowed to administer medication?
Tennessee is different with advanced EMTs. I was a basic in Arkansas, so I know they're allowed to do some here. I don't know because I was never an advanced.
Okay, sounds good. So as a paramedic though, you weren't able to administer medications.
Yes,
What year did you receive your paramedic certification?
2021.
So right before you came to Nashville to start at Mercy.
Yes.
And when you came to Nashville to start at school, I'm assuming you started as a freshman or you had credit already?
I had transfer credits.
Okay. Were you still a freshman?
Yes,
And were you working during that time?
yes.
Okay. And would that be 2021? And where were you working?
When I first started school, I was at Emerson Ambulance back home, and then I started working at Hobby Lobby for a little bit to take a break.
One of my favorite places. Okay. And what about when you came to Nashville?
Hobby Lobby was here in Nashville.
Oh, okay. How long did you work at Hobby Lobby?
Roughly 5 or 6 months until I started at Vanderbilt.
When did you, so did you have any employment between Hobby Lobby and Vanderbilt? When did you start at Vanderbilt?
March of 2022.
And what position did you start off?
Paramedic.
Paramedic. What department would that be? Emergency?
Yes.
Did you work in any other department at Vanderbilt outside of the emergency department before February 2023?
Yeah.
Okay. So by the time that by the time it's February the 25th of 2023, you have been at Vanderbilt working as a paramedic in the emergency department for almost a year.
Yes.
Is that fair?
Yes.
And I'm assuming you were going to school during the day
Yes.
and then working at night.
Yes.
What were your hours during that time?
If it was I started on night shift from 7P to 7A, and I moved to a mid shift from 3P to 3A at some point. I think I was working mid shift by then.
Okay. So 3 p.m. to
3 a.m.
And I'm assuming you guys work 12-hour shifts. How many days per week were you working 12-hour shifts?
3 to 4.
So it's full-time and full-time student.
Yes.
Good deal. Could you tell us exactly what your title was from March of 2022 to February of 2023?
Paramedic.
And nothing else in between?
No.
Did you hold any supervisory roles or anything of that nature?
The last 2 months that I was employed in the ER, I became a paramedic lead.
Okay.
That's it.
And can you tell me when would the last 2 months be? I know you said.
August and September. I left September 24th.
September 24th. So September 2024, that's when you moved to your current position.
2023.
23, yes. Okay. So September 2023 is when you left the emergency room department and came to your current position.
Yes.
And your current position again is?
A critical care medic for Lifeline.
Is that viewed almost as if it's a promotion, if you will? Or it's just like a lateral move?
Lateral transfer.
Okay. In your position as a paramedic in the emergency department back in 2023, February, tell us exactly what your average day responsibilities were.
So I would come to work, clock in, check off all of our equipment throughout the department, look at the board, see what patients we had, get offgoing shift report from offgoing paramedics, and just help wherever the nurses need me and whatever I was told to do.
When you say check equipment, what type of equipment are we talking about?
Our crash carts, our trauma equipment, all of our cabinets, all of our carts, make sure everything's stocked for the shift.
Okay. And is medication in any of these cabinets or no? So what would be in your carts and cabinets and things of that nature?
IV supplies, like bandaging things, basic things.
Almost like support supplies for the nurses and things of that nature. Okay. So you will come to work, you check the equipment, see what patients are there in the emergency room, and then I'm assuming you then wait for someone to give you instruction as to where they would need your support. Who would primarily be the people who would come to you and ask you for support? Would it be the nurses, doctors?
Yes.
Both?
Yes.
Okay. Was there a particular doctor and or nurse that anyone was assigned to?
No.
Did it be anyone? Yes. How many, if you know, how many nurses would you say would be on duty at any given time in Vanderbilt's emergency back then?
I do not know.
You know? Okay. You know how many patients the emergency room department, in terms of rooms, how many rooms of patients do you guys take there?
I don't have an exact number. I know we go up to 38, like physical rooms.
38.
But it could be more, not 100%.
Yeah, I've seen sometimes with their patients in hallways because they're running out of rooms. Who would have been your supervisor back then?
As our paramedic supervisor, it would have been Eric Frank.
Eric Frank. Did you guys have more than one supervisor?
For paramedics, no, he was our overall paramedic lead.
So outside of Mr. Frank, everyone was in the same role and position?
Yes.
Were you supervised directly by any doctors and or nurses?
No.
And so you, on February 25th of 2023, I'm assuming based on your prior answer, the only reason you remember that you were working that particular day is because you checked the records.
Yes.
And that makes sense, right? It's 3 years ago. You're stating that you were on duty there from 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. during that time?
I believe if it was my normal shift, then yes. I don't know exactly what my shift was.
And do you remember at all Ms. Benning coming to the emergency department on that evening?
I do not.
Do you remember which nurse and or doctor that you were working with on that day?
I do not.
Do you remember whether or not during that time that there were more than 38 patients, or it was pretty hectic during that time, or if it was just a normal cold day? Do you remember anything like that?
I do not.
I should probably just ask you this, do you remember anything about that day?
I do not.
And trust me, it's fair, that was 3 years ago, so that's fair. Okay. During your position and your daily duties at the emergency department, do you ever have interaction with family members or things of that nature?
Yes.
And what type of interactions would you have with individual patients, family members, and things of that nature?
If they're in the room, treatment plan of what we're doing and what's going on and everything.
Would you be the individual that communicates that treatment plan to the family members?
It's typically the MDs, but if we come in and we start doing something, that's when I would explain what was going on.
And when you say that you would explain what was going on, you would explain what?
Like, hey, I'm about to start an IV.
Oh,
Typical things.
not what the doctors are going to do, just this is what I'm going to do.
Correct.
Now, do you have any authority to, on your own, determine what type of medication a patient should receive?
Not in the ER.
Not in the ER, okay? Do you have on your own any type of authority as it relates to any type of treatment, not medication, but an IV and or a bandage or anything like that? Can you assess a patient on your own and say, this patient needs an IV or this patient needs a bandage?
I have to obtain orders from the doctor.
I'm sorry,
I have to obtain orders from the doctor to
From the
doctor. Yes.
can you obtain those type of orders from a nurse?
No.
Only a doctor.
Yes.
And so when you looked at the records for Ms. Benning back on February 25th of 2023, I'm assuming you noticed, like we all, that you had pulled some medication that day. And you said before that you dispensed medication.
Yes.
Tell us again exactly what dispense means in the EMT emergency room department world.
Pulling it from the machine that stocks it, where it's stored. Just pulling it out of the machine.
Okay. And so if anyone is like me, what do you mean pulling it out of the machine? What does that mean?
We go in, type in the patient's name, type what medicine we need, and pull it out of the machine, and we have the medication now.
Okay. So I'm assuming then there is some type of machine that houses medication.
Yes.
And that machine, does it house all medications or only controlled substances or things of that nature?
It houses all medications. It's not only controlled substances.
Okay. And so if you are dispensing, which we now know the EMT emergency room department world means pulling it out from the machine that houses the medication for the emergency department, we can assume, can we not, that a doctor, because you said you cannot take orders from a nurse, right? That a doctor had to have told you to do so.
Correct.
Because you otherwise would not get medication out of it.
Correct.
What credentials must you put in order to obtain those medications?
The patient's name and the first 5 letters of the medication you're trying to access.
Do you have to give any identifying information from you?
Yes.
Okay, tell us what that is.
It's our login, our ID, and our password.
Anything else besides your ID, your password, the name of, the first 5 letters of the name of the patient, and the actual medicine?
It's the first 5 letters of the medication and the name of the full name of the patient.
Okay. Do you have to give the patient's date of birth?
No.
Do you have to put anything in there as it relates to the doctor who gave you the authority? And so we see that on February 25th of 2023 at 23:27, which is 11:27 p.m.
Yes.
that you first pulled midazolam.
Yes.
What is midazolam?
Another name for it is Versed, and it's just a sedative.
A sedative means that it does what to a patient?
It calms them down. We give it for seizures a lot. It just kind of relaxes their muscles.
Okay, does it put them to sleep?
Patient dependent.
Okay, so it can make you drowsy, but it's not an agent that puts you under.
It depends on the patient. Everyone handles meds differently.
Okay,
So it depends on the patient.
well, let me ask you this, if someone wanted to cause someone to go into an unconscious state, would they use midazolam in that type of arena to make that happen?
Yes.
And then we also saw that you also pulled fentanyl.
Yes.
What is fentanyl?
It is a pain medication.
Is it also used as a sedative?
No.
It is solely for pain.
Yes.
So one can assume then that if you are administering pain medication to a patient, then that patient had to have been in some sort of pain.
Yes.
And how would you know a patient is in pain?
That will tell us.
I noticed, if I could, you reviewed your records when you
Yes.
prepared for today.
Yes.
I want to show you what I'm going to mark as okay, can she tell me? Since she's a witness. I'm gonna mark it once they get, that's appendix exhibit 1. Take a look at appendix exhibit number 1. Have you ever seen that document?
Yes.
Okay. When did you see that document?
A strip of only what I had done under my name was emailed to me.
Okay. Who was it emailed to you by?
That I do not know.
Okay. Do you, what email would they have emailed it to you?
My work email.
Your parent work email?
Yes.
Are you able to go back and take a look and see who emailed that document to you?
I don't have the ability on my phone.
Not now, but at some point.
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember when it was emailed to you?
No.
Was it this year?
Yes.
Was it in preparation for your testimony today?
Yes.
And you just don't remember who it was? Who have you been in contact with in preparation for your testimony today?
My lawyer.
Who is your lawyer?
Anthony Bills.
Have you been in contact with anyone else?
No. I got the subpoena emailed to me and that was it.
Okay. So that the only person that you've been in contact with as it relates to your testimony here today was your attorney?
Yes.
In these records, you notice that your name was present.
Yes.
Do you also notice where it states ABS override pool?
Yes.
What does that mean?
It means if we have a patient coming in or a patient that needs emergency medication right in that moment, we can go in and override. and just pull the medication that we need as told by a doctor.
Okay. Why would you need to override it?
Because they don't have time to go in and put the orders in the computer. Because it's an emergent situation and something's happening that we need those medications.
Okay, so is there another protocol for, or dispensing, medication outside of this ABS override that would not require an override? So in every instance that you want medication, you have to do an ABS override?
No.
Okay. So what would you do if it wasn't an override?
The orders would be put in by the physician and we would go in and be able to pull them.
Okay, so then what you're saying is that the normal protocol is that a doctor would put in orders for medication.
Yes.
And it is because of those orders that you can then go to the machine that houses the medication. Does that machine have a name, by the way?
The Omnicell.
Omnicell? O-M-N-I? S or C-E-L-S? So, in a normal procedure or protocol, doctors put in orders into a system. That system somehow communicates to the Omnicell.
Yes.
And allows for you to go in and then put in the patient's name, the first 5 letters of the medication, your ID and password, and the medication is dispensed.
Yes.
But in this instance for Ms. Benning, there were no orders in the system.
Yes.
For the Omnicell to recognize.
Yes.
Because of the emergency situation.
Yes.
And so because of that, you implemented the ABS override pool.
Yes.
Okay. And what exactly is the override pool? What do you have to do there?
We hit, it's a button, medication override, and the reason, emergency, whatever the reason is for needing it overridden, so that it's all documented.
In that situation, what would the reason have been, if you know?
I don't know the exact reason.
Okay. Would it have been communicated to you?
Yes.
Okay. Who would have communicated that to you?
The pharmacist or the doctor.
Okay. Is it required for you to put in that reason every time you do an ABS override?
Yes.
Without that, you cannot administer. Dispense it.
Correct.
Okay. And so then we can assume that when you did this ABS override pool, there was a reason stated as to why you were able to do that.
Yes.
When you put that reason into the system, are you also inputting the individual who communicated the reason to you?
No.
Just only the reason?
Yes.
Okay. How many doctors would you say are on duty at any given time during the 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. shift?
I don't have an exact number.
Would it be more than 1?
Yes.
Okay. More than 5?
Yes.
More than 10?
I don't believe so.
Okay. So somewhere between 5 and 10.
Yeah.
Who would tell you the dosage of the medication?
The doctor.
When the doctor is communicating this information to you in this emergency situation where the orders are not put into the system, are you taking notes or are you just memorizing?
When we pull the medication from the Omnicell, it is the whole vial. So we go and pull the medication, we come back to the doctor and verify the dose before getting it.
Okay. So when the doctor is communicating to you before you go to the Omnicell, you're not taking notes or anything at that time, you're just remembering as you go.
The medication, yes. All I need was
So because in these records, that there was a fentanyl pool, there was a midazolam pool, and an override situation, then we can, based on what you just testified here today, assume that there was a doctor who communicated this information to you in terms of what the patient needed.
Yes.
Now, when you dispense the medication, who administers the medication? Meaning, who gives the patient this medication?
Either myself or a nurse.
Not the doctor.
Typically, no.
Okay. And how is fentanyl and midazolam administered to a patient?
Through an IV.
And just so that we're clear for the sake of the jury, when we're dispensing medication in this setting, that means you're taking it from the IV cell. When you're administering medication in this setting, you're actually giving it to the patient.
That's correct.
And so, at some point, based on your testimony, it was determined that this medication would not be given to this patient, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, who would have told you that? So someone had to have told you to get the medication, dispense it. Who would have told you not to administer it?
The doctor.
The same person.
Yes.
Is there anyone else who could have given you the authority not to administer that medication?
Yes. Another doctor.
Okay, but it had to be a doctor.
Yes.
Okay, not the RN or a nurse practitioner. Okay. And again, as these doctors are communicating to you, you're not taking notes or anything. You're just on the spot. You're
Yes.
So, it is now determined that you did not administer, the doctor based on the records, make the determination that you're not going to administer these medications to the doctor. What do you do with those medications?
They are wasted.
Are they wasted immediately?
Yes.
Okay. And how are they wasted?
We have a system in the Omni cell where we go in and waste it with a witness, and then they are disposed of. And it's called a cactus. It's a drug disposal thing that we squirt the medication into.
Okay. Is that in the Omni cell as well?
It's beside it, yes.
Right beside it. Is it a separate machine?
Yes.
Okay. And does it require any information on your part in order for you to dispose of the medication into that machine?
Yes.
And what is that machine called?
It's a non-machine, it's just a waste receptacle.
Oh, it's just a waste receptacle.
Yes.
Is that those red things you see with the danger?
A little different.
Okay. And you said, I'm sorry, I didn't catch the answer. Are there things you have to put in there? No, it's just, you're putting it in.
Correct, it's documented in the Omni cell.
Okay. So first you document the fact that we are going to waste this medication in the Omni cell.
Correct.
You then go to the receptacle, for lack of a better word, and you actually squirt that medication from the syringe
Yes.
into the receptacle.
Yes.
What do you do with the syringes?
Throw them away.
In the trash or something? Is there a special place for you to dispose of the syringes?
Yes, we have trash cans and biohazard trash.
Okay. When you dispose of the medication and you're inputting it into the IV cell, are you also putting the reason that you're disposing?
Yes.
And where are you getting that reason from?
The doctors.
Are you having to list the doctor's name that told you that?
No.
And you stated, I think you said something about the patient changed, and that's how you knew that you disposed of it? How did you know that you disposed of that medication? From Ms. Benning particularly?
Yes, in the report, it states that I wasted it, and under the reason it states patient condition changed.
Okay. And what report are you speaking to in that regard?
It's a continuation of this report.
A continuation, you mean medical records?
No, it's all of it's in the medication report.
Okay, on the document Defendant's Exhibit 1 that's in front of you, is that information on this sheet? So there is another document somewhere that states it?
Yes.
But it's not a VUMC medical record?
Yes, it is.
Would your name be attached to that as well?
Yes.
Have you seen that document?
Yes.
When did you see that document?
It's the same one I was referring to, or I don't know when it was sent to me.
I'm sorry.
That's the one that was emailed to me. I'm not sure exactly when I received it.
In addition to Defendant's Exhibit 1?
I only received a strip that showed my name and the, like, what I did. I didn't receive anyone else's name. It just showed my name and what my involvement.
Okay. And that, was it a screenshot of the document?
Yes.
So then it would have been attached to an email,
Yes.
not the email itself. And what I mean by that is, you know, sometimes you'll receive an email and there's a screenshot within the email,
Yes.
as opposed to an actual document that you have to click on and download to review
Yes. I believe it was just in the email.
in the email itself. And just so we're clear, because I don't want to confuse that, what you received is different than Defendant's Exhibit 1.
Yes, it's less information. It is only it has these two parts on here and only what I was involved in. It doesn't have, it's not the full of all the other medications. It's only what I was involved with.
Fair enough, thank you. And in Defendant's Exhibit 1, is it fair to say that Defendant's Exhibit 1 would be, if you looked at just the two strips of where you were involved, would it be fair to say that the information you received is different than what's in those strips shown on Defendant's Exhibit 1 because it doesn't show where the medication was wasted?
Correct.
Because in Defendant's Exhibit 1, we don't see that, right?
Correct.
When we see the statement, "Do not to must always be secure," what does that mean? If you know.
Oh, is that on here?
Yes, ma'am. For the record, what she says is that on here, she's looking at Defendant's Exhibit 1.
Where am I? Oh, there it is. I'm referring to not, you can't send it through the tube system in the hospital like we send labs, because it's a controlled substance, so we can't just send it through the hospital. If we were, we would never have a reason to do that, but that's all that means. Is do not put it in the tube system.
Let's keep those separate and secure.
Yes.
When you see the status as active, what does that mean? On the right-hand side.
I do not know.
Okay. When you look at it, it says ordering mode standard. What does that mean?
I also do not know.
You see there where it says at the bottom, package, and then it gives a number. Specifically under fentanyl, it says package 0409-9094-12. Do you know what that number pertains to? Fair enough. And finally, when you see frequency, from 2/25/23 at 23/27 until discontinued. What does that mean to you, if anything?
I guess to me, that's until they decide that we don't need it anymore, or until they discontinue the order.
Okay, and when you say they, you're speaking about the doctors?
Correct.
Okay. And to be clear, you would have nothing to do with the decision to administer these medications, correct? Yes. And you would have nothing to do with the amount of medication that is determined that needs to be administered, correct? When you, and if you know the answer to this question, you can answer it if you don't. When you see fentanyl, well, let me back that up. If someone was coming in for a potential overdose for any type of drug, would you expect to see fentanyl administered? If you know the answer, if you don't, that's fine.
I do not know the answer to that.
And reason being, because you're not the one who made those determinations, right? So that was an unfair question, I apologize. But what we can say is that we know for certain, based on the records you reviewed, that at 23/27, on February 25th of 2023, although it states that fentanyl was dispensed, you did not, and anyone to your knowledge, administer fentanyl to Ms. Jade Benning.
That is correct.
So, Ms. Smith, we're going to, I'm done at this time, but, and this is beyond your purview, but I want to set it on the record. We would like for you to grab that document and medical record where it states that you actually disposed of it, so that we can at some point talk to you again about it. And we'll work with the prosecution to that regard, okay? But we do want you to move. Okay? All right, at this time, we'll pass this. And for the record, I would just like to say that we're not done necessarily with this witness until we deal with the issue of this record we have not seen.
Okay, here, Judge.
Who's the next witness?
Dr. Brooke.
And I believe, Ms. Collins, this is in the medical records, but you mentioned it during the deposition. Do you want this marked as a separate exhibit?
Yes, please.
All right, for 360.
Your Honor, I would just renew my request that Dr. Brooke Larry not be asked about any testing that's not admitted as evidence as an exhibit.
Okay, I'm going to send another step up.
Do you swear the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, so help you God? Yes.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Dr. Brooke Larry. How are you?
All right.
Brooklyn, I'm sorry, can you please state your name and spell it for the record?
Sure, it's Dr. Rebecca Briccoleri, REBACCA, BRUCCOLERI.
And how are you employed, Dr. Brooklyn?
I'm employed by Vanderbilt University Medical Center as the medical director of the Tennessee Poison Center and a medical toxicologist.
And how long have you been employed with Vanderbilt?
Since October 2018.
And I want to ask you a question in regards to the treatment of Jade Benning. Are you familiar with the patient at Vanderbilt by the name of Jade Benning?
Yes.
And do you remember about the time that she was being treated at Vanderbilt?
Yes.
Was there an occasion where you were involved with her treatment?
Yes.
Can you explain to the jury exactly what your involvement was?
Yes. I was called shortly after she was admitted to the ICU to assist in drug testing because there was concern that Ms. Benning had been poisoned.
And do you remember about the time that she was admitted to the hospital?
She was admitted at about 9 to 10 p.m. on February 25th, 2023.
And who contacted you? Well, let me ask you this. What is your role there at Vanderbilt directly?
I provide inpatient and outpatient medical toxicology consults.
Okay. What exactly does that mean?
So I can provide advice on toxicologic cases, so whether or not someone's been poisoned, intentional overdoses, unintentional overdoses, adverse medication reactions, and envenomations.
And you just stated something about unintentional overdoses. Is that what you stated?
Yes.
Okay. Can you explain to the jury what exactly that means?
So, prime example of an unintentional overdose is if a small child finds a pill on the ground that one of their caregivers has left and ingested it, and the management of that.
And so what would your involvement be in a case like that?
So I would provide advice on how to treat the poisoning. It could be a myriad of drugs that could be one, but for example, something like a blood pressure medication could be ingested by a small child, and then I would provide treatment recommendations to the team on how to manage that.
When you were notified, or let me ask you a better question, do you remember the exact day you were notified in regards to Jade Benning's treatment?
Yes.
And who contacted you?
The ICU team.
And for what purpose were they calling you in specifically as it relates to Jade Benning?
They wanted help with extended drug testing.
And what type of service did you provide?
I provided advice on extended drug testing.
Did you have an occasion to pull urine for or from Ms. Benning? Meaning, did you order a urine analysis or a drug test, drug screen?
I did help with drug testing.
Okay. And do you remember what day that was?
So I assisted in ordering, I don't remember the exact date and time for each time that I called the lab, but I assisted on add-on testing for urine that was already in the lab, and then at the end of her hospital stay, I helped order arsenic testing.
I want to draw your attention as to whether or not, well, let me ask a better question. Once that you order testing, where do you send your testing to? Meaning, where do you go, what lab do you utilize for your testing?
So for the add-on testing, there were 2 labs that I had advised or helped with ordering for. That was NMS Labs and Arup Labs. And then for the arsenic testing, that went to Arab Labs.
And I would like to show you what has been marked now as, well, I'd like to show you an exhibit, please.
What are you referencing?
Now, I want to show you my exhibit that I'm handing her. It's not offering to evidence.
Your Honor, Dr. Bergaleri cannot authenticate documents, but it's very specific. She needs to be called about what's already been introduced.
That's what I meant. You said it was an exhibit. What number?
No, it's not an exhibit that's already been introduced. She's a witness. I don't understand why I can't give her a document, and if she can authenticate it, why am I not allowed to enter it into evidence?
Let the jury step down the hallway. Is this something, General Norman, you referenced before this witness was called?
Yes, Your Honor, it's exactly what I referenced before this witness was called.
And what, I don't know, what tests are you talking about that haven't been made exhibits?
I'm sorry, I thought you were asking me.
No.
Your Honor, work order 23078883, which is what this is about, it was not introduced as an exhibit. Dr. Mithen we did not submit it. Dr. Mithen did not testify about it.
What is it?
It is a urine test on a urine that was collected on 2/26/26 at 0922. We did not submit that lab test through Dr. Mithen. This is part of the NMS lit pack. Dr. Mithen is not here to testify about any of the test
Well, I mean,
results.
I don't know. I guess my question, why wasn't it admitted?
I'm sorry?
Why wasn't it asked about?
We purposely did not ask about it because there was confusion about the date. And that was the limited testimony of Dr. Mithen, is that we showed that the work order was not the same as the one before, that there was one urine sample from that 2/25/23 at 22:59. It was a completely different sample, and that is what was sent to CFSRE. We have had no testimony.
And this
about-
one deals with what? Which one?
Deals with, that's the thing, it's not in evidence. It's a
Which-
secondary urine sample.
2/26/1335 or 2/27/23 at 4 o'clock?
No, it's neither, I'm saying it's not either one of those. This has not been
That's only
submitted.
3 I've seen or heard reference to in the medical.
Correct. There has not been testimony related to this, other than to point out that the work order was different, and she knew for certain that the sample transferred to CFSRE was from 2/25/23 at 22:59.
What are you wanting to ask this witness, Ms. Fowler?
Specifically, I would like to address two things with this witness. There is in fact an email between this witness and Dr. Methune in regards to a sample, a designer opioid screen from 2/25/23 at 22:59. In this email,
That's been testified about.
I'm sorry?
There have been references to that.
Yes, and there's been an issue as to whether or not that urine screen was in fact on 2/26 or 2/25. I have an email in front of me from Dr. Brucaleri where she references a sample from 2/25/23 at 22:59. That date is extremely important to the defense because
That's 2/25/23, 22:59 is not an issue.
It is an issue on our side, Your Honor.
That's,
Your Honor, you
is
can
that
make,
the urine screen you're concerned about, John Moore? 225-23 and 2259?
That 225-23 and 2259 is a completely separate work order, and that is in evidence, and she's more than
Right.
welcome to ask about that. She is trying to ask about this other urine sample that we've had no testimony about. It was not admitted as evidence in any way, shape, or form.
Then I guess I need to go back to Ms. Hollins. You've not told me anything that the state's objecting to, so what else are you wanting to ask this witness?
in addition to that, I would like to offer, there is a test from CSFRE where there is coca-ethylene that was found in the urine of Ms. Benning,
That's been testified about.
not by this witness.
Okay, maybe you're jumping the gun, I don't know. She's apparently not asking about any other urine screen.
Judge, this email is about a urine screen that is not in evidence at all. NMS has not testified to it.
So that doesn't make,
Dr.
that doesn't
Clary
matter
cannot
if you
authenticate anything about the results of this test because we would have to have the NMS toxicologist to
there's
testify
not been
about it.
testimony about it. You're saying the only testimony about coca-ethylene was from a blood test.
No, Judge, I'm talking about the emails and the first test that she wants to ask about.
There's been testimony about coca-ethylene, right?
Okay, so we're talking about a separate issue.
Coming from where?
Judge, which CFSRE report are you referring to?
2023-0090.
I have no objection to her asking
That's what
about.
I said. It sounded like we were jumping the gun.
I was going back to the original because you referenced a urine screen.
She was talking about a urine screen.
So she's not going to be allowed to.
Okay. Show Ms. Holland the group of things that you're holding there when you're talking about objecting. And see if she has any plans of going into that.
I have one of these work orders. I am objecting.
Yeah, I didn't realize that my evidence was confined to what the state offered it to
Well,
evidence.
you would have to be, there would have to be a foundation for it. Who did it? And wonder what. So what is your answer to her question?
I'm not trying to offer those test results.
She's not
I am
trying to offer.
speaking to this email written by this witness referencing a urine sample from 225-23. The purpose of that,
Is that an issue?
it is to.
I'm not asking you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It is if she is going to get into the lab.
She just said she wasn't.
Well, Judge,
Is that accurate?
That is correct.
All righty.
And in terms of, I am wanting to get into the results of the coca-ethylene found in the CSFRE.
Judge,
In what, one of those work order numbers?
This work order
No, the
is,
one she just showed you on her file there.
no. It's not.
On the manila file, you had two.
this work order that's, the email is about, is this work order that is not in evidence. The email is about something that is not in evidence.
Is that accurate?
I'm not trying to enter those results, Your Honor.
Oh, okay.
I am trying to simply enter an email from this witness referencing.
Show this witness that email and she can clear up what work order it's about.
This is the. And I included.
Hang on. Is all of all that information you're looking at, Doctor, concerning 225, 23, 22, 59 year split?
So, as best to my memory, it is not. This is in reference to a different specimen number. So at the time this was done, which was April 6, 2023, there was some differences in lab collection dates and times to what was matched in the EPIC record. I am pretty sure this is referencing the lab that was actually done at 2/26, 2023 at 9:22 a.m. And this specimen did not ever go to CFSRE because it went back to the crime lab. So
Okay.
this is
What
not.
about what you're wanting to ask about?
So I'm not interested in getting in the results of that test. I am simply interested.
She's saying this email applies to a total another work order that wasn't sent in MS.
Again, I am not trying to enter into evidence any results from any test. I
But
am
why would you
simply-
want an email about a test that wasn't tested?
Because there's a date on there that is very important to
Ask
my
her what you
client's
wanted to
case.
ask.
Thank you. Is there a date that you are referencing in your email, Dr. Bruckler?
Yes, and I am saying at that time, it was incorrect, because when you backtrace this work order to the specimen ID into the EPIC medical record, it is a different date and time, which was not discovered until after this email was sent.
And that's fine. I just want to reference the actual date that you have in that email. Back on April, I believe it's the 6th of 2023.
The date that I have is 2/25/23 at 22:59.
Thank you. That's all I needed. And then,
She's saying that's not accurate.
I understand.
So you're
The
entitled to
state-
introduce relevant evidence, not evidence that's not relevant.
The state has made it an issue that that date is not accurate. They have made
So
that
that
an issue.
date's accurate.
May I finish, Your Honor?
220, you're saying the state's saying 225, 23, and 2259 is not accurate?
That is correct. They have stated that in their
No,
case
they're
in
not
chief.
stating that. That's accurate. But you're asking about another work order that's not been testified to in the record, so how do we know what the results were?
I'm not trying to get into the results.
But you're
Of
wanting
that
an email
test.
to confuse the jury about what's going on here, right?
Sir, I'm not.
Okay. Well, I'm not allowed this email, so is anything
No.
else?
That's fine.
All right, let the jury decide about that.
I'm not done.
Oh.
I have another test. As I stated, there is another work order that Dr. Bruckler is aware of where Ms. Benning tested positive for cocaethylene. I simply want her to have the opportunity to testify about that because
What
it goes to
order
my
is that?
clients. It is work order number 2023-0090.
Was that tested
Yes, it was.
by Vanderbilt?
Yes, it was tested by Vanderbilt, but what's in question is what went to CSFRE, which is,
What?
it went to the Center for Forensic Research and Education.
But your hospital tested it and it showed what?
So it went to NMS lab, so our hospital drew it, sent it to NMS
The
lab.
hospital didn't test it.
Our hospital, sent it for extended drug screening to NMS. I do not,
Vanderbilt hospital test what she's asking about.
could you repeat the question, Your Honor?
Did Vanderbilt hospital test what this lawyer is asking about?
I don't know if they ran tests on that sample
Should I
themselves.
She has personal knowledge that Ms. Benning tested positive for cocaethylene.
Is that accurate?
Yes,
From what source?
that's from the Center for Forensic Research and Education.
She didn't do the test.
But she has personal knowledge, and
Did we
she's
hear
a toxicologist, Your Honor. And she's treated Jade
But
Benning.
you want everything to be reliable, right?
No, what I would like
You
is for
don't want
this,
everything to be reliable.
May I finish, sir, please?
Just answer my question. You want all the test results to be reliable.
I would love for that,
Okay.
but that's
We
not
don't
the
have the
case.
people that did this test. Did you subpoena them?
I don't need the people to be
Well,
there.
then she can't testify about the results of someone else's test.
She can testify about her personal knowledge
She doesn't
because
have personal knowledge.
she just told you she did.
It's from another testing agency.
It doesn't matter, she got,
Okay, well.
you can make your ruling, Your Honor, and that's
I
fine.
ruled, so that's out.
And what is your
else do
ruling?
you want? I just said it's out.
Thank
What
you.
else do you want to ask her?
There's nothing else.
Okay, let the jury step in.
Can I get my test back, please?
Sure. Subpoena somebody from the lab. Other questions?
My questions have already been answered.
Okay. Do we need questions from the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. We'll get set. Let's move with the next witness.
The defense calls, Eric Devlin.
Judge. I don't know.
All right, look, yeah, look, get here, somebody. Let the lawyers step up. let the lawyers check that. Step back around the phone. You guys sit back there outside, sir. Get some Mario or follow me. Stay right here, right here.
You swear to tell the truth, so help you God.
I do. This one. The attorney is going to ask you just some, I don't know about brief, but some questions in terms of the bottom line issue they're wanting to call you, okay?
Yes.
Outside the presence of the jury. Okay.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can you please state and spell your name for the record?
Mario San Bartolome, M-A-R-I-O. Last name is S-A-N-B-A-R-T-O-L-O-M-E.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm an addiction medicine specialist and family physician.
And can you tell this court a little bit about your education?
Sure. I'm double board certified in family medicine and also in addiction medicine. I'm also a medical review officer, which is the individual that is involved with drug toxicologies as it relates to substances of abuse. And I currently work as an addiction medicine specialist at a community clinic overseeing a treatment and any sort of substance use related things at a federally qualified health center.
And can you tell us a little bit about your education?
Yes, I went to UC Davis for undergrad and then went to medical school at UC Irvine, followed by residency training at Long Beach Memorial, and then pretty much started practice right around that time.
And have you published any articles?
I have not.
Have you dealt with or worked at addiction treatment centers?
Yes, I have.
How many?
Approximately, I'd say 5 or 6. I've been a medical director for every level of what we consider to be along the continuum for addiction treatment. So inpatient, hospital-based detox, inpatient rehab, outpatient, intensive outpatient, and partial hospitalization programs.
And what, if any, other specialized skills and trainings you may have?
Primarily just the added medical review officer, I think, to the addiction medicine board certification.
And do you have any experience treating patients with addiction?
Yes, I do.
Do you have any experience treating pregnant women with addictions?
Yes, I do.
One second. Do you have any experience in dealing with and or diagnosing substance use disorders?
Yes, I do.
And what would some of those be?
The substances? Is that the question?
Yes.
Methamphetamine, cocaine, opioids, alcohol use, cannabinoids, pretty much any substance of abuse, hallucinogens, inhalants.
And what is substance use disorder?
Well, a substance use disorder is a diagnosis that's related to a chronic illness that we call a substance use disorder based off of the substance, the primary substance. And it involves biological, psychological aspects that are typically defined by somebody continuing to do things despite negative consequences.
And have you ever testified before as an expert, as a medical review officer and a addiction specialist?
Yes, I have.
No further questions at this time, now. Okay. I would ask that he be tendered as an expert in, as a medical review officer, as well as a addiction medicine specialist.
The state's not so much concerned with his qualifications, but with the relevance.
What do you want him to opine for this year?
I want him to opine for this. Okay. Dr. Mario, in your experience, is pregnancy a automatic stoppage to substance use?
No.
Why not?
Well, because even though it is definitely a well-studied external motivator, in other words, if somebody is in the process of using substances and finds that they're pregnant, it is something that is associated with a higher likelihood of having motivation to stop using. But by itself, it's not something that's a guaranteed that somebody would stop using any substances.
Okay. And what is addiction medicine trying to understand?
Addiction medicine really deals with judgment. It deals with physiologic changes that drive somebody to have impulsivity, to have the kind of behaviors that can be harmful to them. And despite those things, there's changes in the brain that cause them to continue the behaviors that hurt them. So a lot of it has to do with judgment, and a lot of it has to do with how substances interface.
Can self-reporting in clinical settings, what is your opinion about self-reporting in clinical settings?
Well, it definitely is very valuable. That's what we base all of our screenings with. People self-report. It has some limited value in that we are relying that the individual is being forthcoming. And that can be difficult in addiction because addiction also, or even without addiction, actually just with what we would consider substance use. That means no addiction, no dependence, just they happen to use a substance. But in the setting of screenings and things like that, there's a lot of stigma, unfortunately, that's attached to any substance use. And so sometimes people, they have reasons to fear being forthcoming with certain things that have to do with substances.
If you know, can you please explain what is an opioid epidemic?
Well, the opioid epidemic is currently something that we've experienced since around 1999. Currently, we're in our fourth wave of the opioid epidemic, and everyone's probably seen in the news drugs like fentanyl or heroin. These are class of chemicals that typically we use for pain. And the first wave of that really happened somewhere around 1999. And it was around prescription drugs that doctors would prescribe, and sometimes people could get dependent on them. Now, dependency is not the same thing as addiction. It can even just be dependence. It can be around pain. However, it does lead people where if they stop using it, they experience what we call withdrawal. And withdrawal can be a pretty severe neurologic type of reaction to not having the substance and access to the substance, which then when we clamp down on that and reduce that from the standpoint of the system, it created the second wave. And the second wave was around heroin, where people found that they could no longer access prescription drugs, and so they went to use heroin, which was cheaper and more accessible. The third wave came somewhere around 2012, 2013, which had to do with fentanyl. And that was the beginning of what we see now, where you didn't even have to be addicted. You could just actually come into contact with a very potent opioid, a synthetic opioid like fentanyl, not from a prescription, but something that was either adulterated, added to something that you thought was something else, or the very thing in question being the fentanyl. And that went on for some time, and now we're in our fourth wave. And the fourth wave involves fentanyl plus psychostimulants. And psychostimulants, that class, involves primarily methamphetamine and cocaine. And those are the second highest amount of prevalence that we see next to fentanyl in cases that involve fatal overdoses.
What scheduled drug is fentanyl?
It's a Schedule 2.
What about cocaine?
It's a Schedule 2.
What about marijuana?
It's federally still scheduled right now. This thing is a Schedule 1.
What about Adderall?
Adderall is a Schedule 2. That's a psychostimulant.
And if Adderall is a psychostimulant, does that mean it will fall within the fourth wave?
It is. It's an amphetamine.
And are counterfeit or fake Adderall pills contributing to the opioid crisis?
So that's the big thing that's happening now, and this is why the DEA has put out warnings about this. It's not that people are consciously seeking out, usually when they pass away, necessarily the combination of fentanyl with a psychostimulant. It's that oftentimes they think they're taking one thing, but it's adulterated. That means it's been added or spiked, if you will, to something else. And that can actually happen in both directions. It can happen to people that press pills and make Adderall, they'll add fentanyl, and it can also happen in the other direction.
And when clinicians assess risk, do they look at isolated events or overall behavioral patterns?
Well, an isolated event rarely leads to any sort of a diagnosis, right? So we're always collecting information. Some of the information comes from the patient. Some of it comes from corroborating avenues from other people or the things that are observed that contribute to the diagnosis. So generally, it's an overall kind of a compilation of processes that we look at, not just one thing.
And have you had the opportunity to review medical records in this case?
Yes.
Have you ever seen, do you know of a pregnant woman who normally would smoke marijuana?
Yes, that happens.
And are they always forthcoming about their use?
No, I mean, in pregnancy in particular, again, there's significant stigma, significant fear of consequences, child protective services, being judged. These things that are unfortunate that shouldn't exist, but they do exist, and I think they're even more marked in that group of people that have any sort of substance use. It doesn't even have to be cannabis, it can be any sort of substance.
And in your expert opinion, who would be amongst the most stigmatized class of people when it comes to drug use?
I believe it would be the actively pregnant woman.
Would it be judges?
I'm sorry?
Wouldn't be judges?
No, I think that there are states that still, and we've had this historically, that want to put women in jail for substance use. So rather than looking at it as a medical condition, they look to remedy that by illegal action to put people away. So I think it's pretty severe. We don't do that to any man that I know of in any way. And so I think that they're particularly stigmatized because there's an element of another being, the element of the child. So the concept of, well, you're hurting the child, therefore you have a separate action against you. And that's where that comes from. And I think there's also social pressures. It's a critical, delicate time as well.
And could that stigma and social pressures lead to a pregnant person concealing their substance use?
Sure, it can.
Backtracking a little bit, what about mushrooms or psilocybin? What scheduled drug is that?
So psilocybin, or what's sometimes called magic mushrooms, is a Schedule 1. It's in a category we call hallucinogen, that people take it and then they can have psychedelic type of reactions to it.
Mario, I want to give you a hypothetical. If there's a pregnant young lady and she notifies her friend that she's pregnant, and that friend says, "Oh, you've been drinking," is that an example of stigmatizing a person?
Well, it can be that anytime somebody that is pregnant shares any information about any substance use, that this is why doctors get trained to have more of a poker face about it, that our concern is how do we evaluate what you need rather than judge what you did.
And in your expert opinion and in treatment, have you ever heard of someone being able to smoke mushrooms?
So in my practice, I have not heard of anybody doing that. After almost 20 years now of doing this, I think everything that could be smoked has probably been smoked by somebody at some point. However, in the case of psilocybin, combusting it or burning it actually would deactivate the active ingredient. So you wouldn't get what you wanted from it. And then you would also be inhaling a bunch of fungal spores into your lungs. So there's lots of reasons why it's something that people don't really do, even though certainly you can try it.
And lastly, if you could just talk a little bit about how substance use impacts, if at all, the prefrontal cortex of a person.
Sure, that's really at the hallmark of all addiction. It's one of the most difficult parts to sometimes understand. People that have substance use disorders need help, and this is the reason we look at it as a disease is because the parts of the brain that get affected, we know. We actually have studied it. We know the parts. And maybe the most frustrating part for a lot of people is how is it that somebody prefrontal cortex, which is why in substance use disorders, there can be lapses in judgment.
And in your expert opinion, if a person is pregnant, but they're engaging in, let's say, facilitating drugs, what would you opine about that person's judgment?
Well, that would definitely fall under, what we consider to be part of the clinical impression. So the clinical impression, without going into a diagnosis, because you really need to do a physical exam and do a comprehensive exam to come to a diagnosis. But risk-taking is part of the hallmark of addictive disorders. So engaging with a drug dealer in any fashion certainly would fall into that, whether you're an intermediary, whether you're buying yourself, whether you're even just associating. I think that would be one of the signs of many that we do include in our evaluation of what a substance use disorder might be.
And again, it's not uncommon for in your experience, in your expert opinion, for a pregnant person to hide any type of substance use from their friends and family.
It's not uncommon for all people with addictive disorders, but I think even more so potentially with somebody with a pregnancy that's going on at the same time. There's a bit more to lose, I suppose, that is part of the thought process.
And along with drug or facilitating drugs, being around drugs, would a person's proclivity to engage in promiscuity be something that you would consider about the judgment? Could you assess that at all?
Well, it's something that can be, just as a general, it doesn't necessarily have to do with substances, but it certainly is any high-risk behavior where you can link, where there's typically the prefrontal cortex puts the brake on and it stops it. That would be something that could be in consideration.
Your Honor, at this time, I would like to tender Dr. Mario as an expert, as a medical review officer, and an addiction medicine specialist.
Any questions from the state?
Yes, sir. Well, Doctor, would understand by that by analogy, a pregnant woman should never work as a bartender? Because they're being around.
I don't understand the question.
That they shouldn't be ingesting?
Well, so for somebody with an addictive disorder that has pregnancy, yes, my recommendation to that person would be working in a bar would probably not be the best, just because of exposure.
There is absolutely no proof in any record that you've reviewed that Jade Benning was addicted to any cocaine or any other controlled substance, is there?
Not a cocaine or no addictions.
And she was a casual user of marijuana, correct?
Well, so we don't use terms like casual user, so that would have to qualify that. I mean, we have what we consider to be misuse of drugs and then use disorders. We can't really make a determination of use disorders because a full evaluation wasn't done. The lab, the examination. She did not have a use disorder that I could state as a physician because that examination was not done. But we chats with.
I'm not asking you about misuse disorders. I'm asking you about Jade Benning. I'm not asking about other people.
I'm not talking about other people. I'm talking about Jade Benning as well.
Okay. Well, in California, is marijuana legal in California?
It is. Well, it's decriminalized, so it's
Decriminalized, whatever, and actually legal in a number of states, from what I understand. Okay, do you treat people with marijuana addictions?
I do.
All right, so do they come to you out of the blue, referred by law enforcement?
Law enforcement isn't giving any referrals unless there's court ordered. However, I do get referrals, and I do have people that come in that tell me that their cannabis use has gotten past what they can handle, and they feel like their life's out of order.
Gotten out of control.
Yeah.
Absolutely no indication that happened with Jade Benning, is there?
I would consider engaging with a drug dealer unusual behavior that would be linked to, in this case, cannabis.
That's my point.
that information?
From the text messages that she was having between Danny, the dealer, she was getting for her coworkers and for herself, cartridges of cannabinoids, all sorts of different species of cannabinoids, some magic mushrooms. I'm sorry?
She was getting?
She was brokering them. Some of it was promised to her, but most of it was as an intermediary for coworkers.
Okay.
I would consider that to be unusual behavior, I think, for anybody to engage in that, because the risks are high. Not judging if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but to put yourself in a position to have to be an intermediary and then potentially be at risk for the consequences when you give somebody else a substance that somebody else brokered for them.
From the records you reviewed, we're talking about Adderall. There was no Adderall or any derivative of that found in Ms. Benning's system, was there?
No.
And you and I talked, and we have a time or two, at least we can say hello, that you would agree, would you not, doctor, that she died from acute cocaine toxicity by oral ingestion, correct?
Well, I'm not here to actually, my scope is not to testify on cause of death. So I would leave that to the toxicologist and Dr. Larkin.
Well, did you not tell me that you would agree with that finding?
Objection, Your Honor, the witness has already stated his scope.
Yeah, I was just saying.
Right. And that, how many people have you ever treated at your clinic for being addicted to orally ingesting cocaine?
That's exceedingly rare. I mean, I know that people use it in their gums, they've had it in their mouth, but there's definitely not been a lot. That's not, actually, in general, that's not a common way. Yeah, so.
Because they die.
No, that's not why. It's because it actually takes longer to get the effect, number one. Number two is because it actually deactivates a lot of it, so it's hard to get the same effect that you could get if you snorted it, you smoked it, or you injected it. That's the reason why, and it's quite a hierarchy that can be applied to most things, actually. If the particular substance isn't particularly absorbed well with how you take it, that's not how it's used.
There is absolutely no indication, doctor, is there from a medical record that Jade Benning consumed any drug or alcohol after she found out she was pregnant, is there?
Correct, not medical records, no.
And so nothing that you have testified about is based on any personal interaction with Jade Benning, correct?
That's correct.
Either during her lifetime or from obviously the review of the records. There is just nothing there.
Yeah, I have not personally evaluated Ms. Benning.
And the phases of heroin has nothing to do with this, does it?
No. Are you referring to the different?
Your epidemics.
Yeah, well, they're not mine. They actually are ours. But I mean, the heroin was just one stage of that, and so that was just one to kind of explain why there are different stages of that exist. That the most recent one is fentanyl and psychostimulants.
But your testimony about the phases. What was before heroin?
For heroin was prescription drugs.
Okay, before prescription drugs.
Well, that's the first one. Prescription drugs.
This same database that you have here on page 23, if there's activity on here after Jade Benning's death and after the pump is in police custody, do you think you might change your opinion as to whether or not this is user activity or if it's just updates within the Bumble app?
The
Can have updates, absolutely, as a part of it connected to the. So,
no messages with Ms. Benning communicating with anyone on the Bumble app.
not that was recovered, no ma'am.
So it's possible that she could have even gone in to look at one of her girlfriend's profiles just to give her some feedback as a nice friend.
Some people do that, yes ma'am.
And Your Honor, I would think that that is a point for cross-examination.
Yeah, any other questions?
You're speaking to me? Are you speaking to me on this?
To you.
Yes, I do.
Did you find entries like this after the date of death?
I haven't noticed it, Your Honor, so I didn't look for that particular, so,
You didn't look after 3/6?
no, sir.
Okay.
When you looked at the Bumble application, did you pay close attention to whether or not the application itself was interacted with as opposed to just a notification?
These logs here are not notification logs. These are actual interactions with the application.
And when you say interactions, what do you mean?
That means the application was opened, the application was interacted with. I don't know what they did with it. I don't know if they searched for somebody. I don't know if they communicated with somebody, but there was an interaction with the application. That's as far as I can see on here.
So then it is a possibility that if she interacted with this Bumble, it could be that she was looking at dating men.
It's possible.
So in the same manner that she could have been trying to message a friend or a girlfriend to check on her, she also could have been messaging a man to try to date.
Could be, yes ma'am.
Again, Your Honor, based on
Do you have
this,
any other questions?
no, I do not at this time.
Does the state have any other questions?
Not related to the Bumble app.
Okay, all right, thank you, sir. You can wait back there.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, 2 pages, Ms. Collins, 22 and 23 proves that Ms. Benning was dating other men.
I think it infers that she was dating other men. There are other messages that we also believe that she was dating other men in connection with that. And so
What are you speaking of?
I'm speaking of in December, when she was in fact pregnant and living a clean life, she sent naked photographs to 3 different men. These
That's
things
not in what you said.
It's not, because I did not want to put that type of information in here, but it is important.
So you're not planning on asking about that?
I do plan on asking about that. That's why I'm bringing it to the court's attention now, because the state
So
has.
what other texts are you wanting to introduce to this jury?
Outside of this, I want those text messages.
Where are
In December. I did not want to print out those types of photographs.
You're wanting the jury to see them, right?
No, I do not. I would just like for them to hear about them. That's why I never printed them. I was not going to print those text messages. Neither did I want to make them a part of the record, but I do want to talk about them. It is only fair that Mr. Taylor, who has been painted as someone who doesn't care, dating other women while he's with Ms. Benning, that he is not afforded the opportunity to show.
Trash her.
No, they're trashing him, if that's the case.
So you want to trash her?
No, I want the jury to have all the facts, Your Honor. That is all.
That would be great if in fact it's proven.
Well, I can tell you those 3 messages are proven in December.
Has the state seen those?
No, the state has not seen them.
Well, I thought you downloaded her phone.
I haven't looked at every single thing on her phone, and particularly whether or not she's dating men in December when they're broken up. The state's position is it's irrelevant.
That's the first time in 7 days I've heard that. back to the pages 22 and 23. What does that show me under 401?
What it shows is that Bumble is known to be a dating application. It is not known to be a place where you go and say hello to a friend.
He said it was.
He said it was one of the things you can
Well,
do.
then I'm saying it wasn't, because your witness just said it was.
He said that in response to the state's question if it was a possibility. He said
He
yes.
says that happens.
It's a possibility. But that is not the primary purpose of Bumble. That might be the primary purpose of Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, but it is not the primary purpose of Bumble.
Would you acknowledge, I doubt you would, but I just ask it, that if you want to inquire with your witness, Mr. Devlin, about the application, Bumble application being installed on 217 and 223, that the state can also ask him if he looked at August of 2022 when it was installed?
Yes,
And your position is what?
if the state can talk about August of 22,
Just ask what they asked when the witness was in here.
we were confined, Your Honor, to a search period.
So is it fair to the jury to know that she also installed it on another occasion?
I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, that's what I asked. Okay, the other issues that the state had, you can cross-examine, find out dates, find out whether it's received. I mean, if it's received, some of these, quote, drug, and quote, involvements, it's received, so. It's like dating men. What does that have to do with 225? Lord, if I know, just like these others. That's one of their many theories. So remove page 23 from your PowerPoint and or exhibit. I'll let you ask your witness about these other texts and slides that you wanted to introduce. Is he the next witness?
He is, Your Honor,
Do y'all need a break?
but he needs to get on the plane, so I can wait if you don't mind, so that he can make his flight. I will wait for my break.
Okay. All right, let Mr. Devlin step back in and brief the jury then.
Judge, are you keeping out all three of the Bumble references?
I don't need you're talking about the one sheet that says Bumble?
Yeah, I don't know why I'd bring it up if you're keeping the other pages
No,
out.
22
and 23 are the Bumble pages.
22 just confirms that, according to him, she installed it. So you can pull out 21 and 23 and ask him about 22.
Okay, so 20, because I have a presentation on my, so 22 can stay in, 23 comes out.
And 21, 23 come out.
I don't have an objection to 21 and 22 to staying in. I was trying to clarify that before.
But 21 is just some creep. It just doesn't matter. You can ask him about 22. All right.
The defense calls Eric.
We're not in here yet.
Oh.
My digital expert is here, Your Honor. I'm assuming he could be present for this.
Okay.
To be clear, what page are we taking out?
Do you have Mr. Grant?
Yes, I have it. It's page 23, if you want to.
All right, you'll do that one, please.
This calls Jade Benning. You swear the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Mr. Devlin,
Okay.
could you please state and spell your name for the record, please?
Sure. My name is Eric, E-R-I-C. Last name is Devlin, D-E-V-L-I-N.
And Mr. Devlin, how are you employed?
At the present time, I'm the managing director of the Lone Star Forensic Group. We're a digital forensics company based out of Houston, Texas.
And where did you get your education, sir?
My undergraduate degree is from Southern Methodist University. My law degree is actually out of South Texas College of Law based in Houston.
And did you take the bar?
I did.
Did you pass the bar?
I did pass the bar.
And after you passed the bar, can you tell the jury how you were employed?
I was employed at the Harris County District Attorney's Office. So that is the prosecution office for the city of Houston. I was there, I prosecuted everything from traffic tickets up to death penalty cases. But I spent most of my time as the chief of the cybercrime, child exploitation, and human trafficking sections.
Have you had any specified training as it relates to digital forensics?
Yes, while I was a prosecutor, I actually began taking forensic courses to be a better prosecutor, present those cases in court better. While I was taking those classes, I actually realized I liked that better than the practice of law. So when I left the district attorney's office, I opened a forensic company, and I've continued taking forensic classes in a variety of courses, both cell phones, computers, as well as cell location analysis, as well as surveillance systems and other recording systems.
And have you had any specified training specifically to digital forensics?
Yes, I have received thousands of hours of specialized training, everything from Celebrite, Magnet Axiom, as well as a variety of other forensic courses specifically. I've also received advanced training in smartphone examinations.
And have you been published or have you published articles in regards to digital forensics?
Yes, I have published articles related to digital forensics, cybercrime investigation, and child exploitation.
And have you had the occasion to testify before in digital forensics?
Yes, I frequently testify in Houston, where I'm based out of, but I've also testified in Florida, South Carolina, Ohio, and I think I'm missing a couple, so.
And have you had the occasion to testify on both sides, for the prosecution and the defense?
I more frequently testify for the state side than for the defense, but I do testify for both, so.
Thank you. At this time, I will tender Mr. Devlin as an expert in digital forensics.
Any questions from the state?
And I would offer Mr. Devlin's CV as an expert.
Okay, get that, the 81. All right. All right, again, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Mr. Devlin will be allowed to testify in his field of digital forensics. You can place such weight as you choose to upon his testimony. All right.
Mr. Devlin, have you had the opportunity to review the digital download of Jade Benning's phone?
Yes.
And in doing so, have we asked you to locate specific text messages, not all of them, but just a representative of some text messages?
Yes.
Specifically, I'd like to draw you to page 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you find any text messages within Ms. Benning's phone that dealt with drugs?
Yes, I examined an Apple iPhone 13. I was asked to examine and review the forensic extraction that was done by law enforcement. I did find a variety of messages related to drugs and other narcotics activity.
And can we start on page 4, if you will, and explain to us what is that we see there?
This is actually a Snapchat message. So this message was between Danny, the Snapchat ID, Danny Wallace Jr. and a Jade Benning. This activity occurred on 1/20/2023, approximately 6:53:47 p.m. This was in Central Standard Time, so that sometimes changes based on the phone. This was a message that the user account Jade Benning posted to the Danny Wallace Jr., specifically stating, hey, could I get an 1/8 of top shelf and 1 Sativa or hybrid cart?
Do you happen to know what a sativa and hybrid cart is?
I am familiar with it. I am familiar that they are narcotics. I am not familiar with exactly what kind of narcotics they are.
So we'll draw your attention to page 5.
Yes, ma'am.
What date is that, sir?
This was 2/3/2023, approximately 9:57:21 p.m.
And is this message from or to Jade Benning?
This is a message from Jade Benning.
And could you read the message for us, please?
It says apple fritter with the emoji of a fire sign, $25 eighth, $50 quarter, $100 half, $150 zip.
Thank you. And on to page 6, please. Is this message to or from Ms. Benning?
This is a message that was posted inside the Telegram chat room, so it's not one sent by Ms. Benning, but it was received on this device.
What is a Telegram chat room?
Telegram is a social media site, communication site. It's created by an individual out of Russia. It is advertised itself as to be super encrypted. It is not a good place. So.
And was this application downloaded on Ms. Benning's phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I draw your attention to page 7? Is this message to or from Ms. Benning?
This is a message posted in that gas station chat room on the Telegram application.
What is a gas station chat room?
On Telegram, you can create all kinds of chat rooms and invite whoever you want to be a part of it. That's one that occurs, and actually narcotics activity frequently occurs this way. It allows them to advertise sales or purchases or deliveries of different types of substances. And it's, again, believed to be encrypted and heavily anonymous. So.
And could you read for us the message that's on this particular date?
It says pressure plus with the emoji for carts with a fire, $30 a pop, price cut on 2+.
Could I draw your attention to page 8?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you explain to the jury what this represents, what page 8 represents?
This is an actual iOS text message, so this is a communication between this particular device and another individual. That individual they're communicating with is phone number 501-451-0608.
And could you read for us the text message?
The text message start at 11/22/2022, 10:40:13 a.m. Do all of your coworkers get Adderall? The reply, Lauren has some. Message again, ooh, what NG? The reply was 15. Message to this particular device, ooh, ask her, can I buy some? And then the next was a follow-up. This is still a message to this particular device. And what color are they? And the reply from this device was orange.
And to the left there, who do you see is the sender of this text message?
The sender of this message is this number is listed in the contacts as belonging to, and I'm going to kill the name, Nijaha, Nijaiha.
Najaya?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is the date of that text message, sir?
11/22/2022.
Can I draw your attention to page 9?
Yes, ma'am.
And could you read for the jury what page 9 represents with the date
This
as
is,
well as the context?
this is an iOS text message, and this is between the Jade Benning account and a Mario Gutierrez account. On this message, it occurs on 2/18/2023, 9/33/02. The message was from the Jade Benning account saying he's about to bring the weed. There's a reply from the Mario Gutierrez account, says, I fell asleep, and I don't know if I'm allowed to curse in this courtroom or not. So,
That's okay, thank you. Could you please turn your attention to page 10?
yes, ma'am.
And could you represent to the jury what page 10 represents?
Page 10 is a iOS communication between the contact Danny, in parentheses, weed, and this particular device. On this one, the message is, I have mushrooms right now. LOL, my coworker's wanting some.
And on what date is this text message?
I appear to have cut the date off on that text message. I can't tell you.
Okay, thank you. Would it be between the dates that you have listed there where it says first message, last message?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And those dates would be between April 6th of 22 and 2/25 of 23?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you now go to page 11?
Yes, ma'am.
And what does page 11 represent?
These are text messages, specifically occurring on 2/25/2023, 9:10:46 a.m.
And what does the message say?
The message says, yo, can you holler at Danny? Your boy needs a half, please and thanks.
Now, I don't see who this message was sent to. Do you have that information, Mr. Devlin?
I do not have that information.
And what date is on this text?
This text here is 2/25/2023 at 9:10:46 a.m.
On page 12, can you tell us what page 12 represents?
Page 12 is a text message between Jade Benning and the contact Danny Weed. And it occurs on 2/25/2023, beginning at 3:39:21 p.m.
And what does it say?
Specifically, it says, hey, my coworker wants to get a half from you. The account Danny Weed replies, bet I gotcha when I get back. The account for Jade Benning replies, sweet.
Now, did you ever find through your research whether or not page 11 was a message from Mario Gutierrez?
I gotta be honest, I don't remember, so.
Thank you. I want to draw your attention to page 13.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, before we move on, were those all of the text message that involved drugs in between, with Jade's phone from January of 22 through February of 23?
No, ma'am, they were a sampling.
Let's now go to page 13. What section would this subject matter address?
I was asked to look for conversations about Blaise Taylor.
I'm going to draw your attention to page 14.
Yes, ma'am.
Please read for the jury the text message.
This is an iOS text message starting 12/31/2022 at 2:55:57 p.m. from the account 501-541-0608. Sent a message saying, I'm interested. Followed up with another message of, did you text or you just gonna wait? The account belonging to this particular device replied, he called me back. And then a second reply of, I told him that I would call him when I get off. The account ending in 0608 replied, oh, I don't know, I didn't know you answered. And with a second reply of, how was his tone?
Do you know who this number 50154100608 belongs to?
I believe that's the same name that you gave me earlier that I butchered, so.
I checked.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to draw your attention to page 15. And what is the text message thread, please?
On this one, it's a continuation from the previous page. It's the account belonging to this particular device that replies, he sounded the same as always, but I could tell he had something he needed to talk about, of course. The account ending in 0608 replied, why am I anxious like I'm talking to him? This device's account replies, LMAO, because I've been waiting for this. The account with 0608 replied with, get off work already, LOL. The account for this device replied, right, I keep looking at my watch. And then the final message on there is a reply from the 0608 account, keep me updated.
I now want to draw your attention to the next section. Could you tell us the subject matter of this next section?
On the next one, there's communications with Blaise Taylor.
And can I draw your attention to page 17?
Yes.
Can you please read that text thread for us?
Yes. In fact, I'm sorry, these are smaller, so I'm going to read it from your larger screen. This particular account, the local user account, initiated a message saying, thank you for coming to help/see the new place. I'm glad we got to talk about all that we did. It gave me a better understanding on some things I didn't have before. Hope you feel a little better as well, babes, with an emoji. The reply was from the phone number ending in 5738. Thanks and no problem. Just wanted to keep communicating and stay on the same page. The second reply of loved, thank you for coming to help and see the new place. This account replied, 100% agree with you. Another reply, 100% also turns me on when we have our talks. The account ending in 5738 replied, laughed at 100%, also turns me on when we have our talks. With another reply of why, LOL. Then another message of, I feel like most of the time it's really me telling you stuff you probably don't want to hear.
Now, in regards to this text message, is this Jade Benning's phone in the blue?
It is.
Can we now move to page 18?
This is a continuation of that text thread. The account ending in 5738. I feel like most of the time it really me telling you stuff you probably don't want to hear. The next message was from the Jade Benning account. Not necessarily. You're just keeping it real at the end of the day, and that's all I ask of you. And because to see you serious for one, LOL, and us being able to calmly communicate about the situations we have in front of us just lights me up. The account ending in 5738 replies, LOL, okay. Well, I said I'll always be upfront and answer any questions you have. This account here for this device replied, heard you. And this device, this account, the one ending in 5738, was under the contact name of Blaise.
Thank you. Let's now move to page 19, and what subject matter is this section?
This specifically is related to messages regarding plans with Blaise Taylor.
And can I get you to turn to page 20?
Yes, ma'am.
And could you read for us the text message here?
This message was on 2/25/2023 at 12:03:10 p.m. The message was saying, okay, LOL, I'm going to plan to do a little at-home paint with Blaise tonight.
And what date is that text message?
2/25/2023.
Can we now move to the next section?
Yes, ma'am.
And what section is this?
The label on it is Bumble.
Can you please identify page 22 and explain to the jury exactly what this is?
This specifically is a set of logs related to the installation of the Bumble application.
What is the Bumble application?
Bumble is an application that's on both iOS and Android devices. It's described as a social contact application.
And what day do you see that this particular phone installed the Bumble application?
There is an install of 2/17/2023 and another installation date of 2/22/2023.
And can I draw your attention to page 24?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is the nature of this section?
I was asked to find some communications related to Jarius Porter.
And can you read for us on page 25?
Yes, ma'am. On page 25, the communications start 12/17/2022, 9:17:30 p.m. It's a message from this particular device to the porterjarius@gmail.com. You've been getting it the last few. The porterjarius@gmail.com replies, "Yep, I'm on my way back to the shape I was before. I started dating a world-class chef." The message, this particular device replied, "LMAO, I heard that." And then a second reply of, "That's good though."
Okay. And can you move now to page 26?
Yes, ma'am. And these are, there's a lot of messages in between, but it was designed to give basically an idea of the length of the conversations. So these messages occur on 1/24/2023 at 1:12:02 p.m. This message from porterjarius@gmail.com. That's good. I'm glad you have to.
Let me,
You all switch to.
yes, please.
Switch to the other.
I'm sorry, do I continue?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. The message was porterjarius@gmail.com, 1/24/2023, 1:12:02 p.m. Message says, "That's good. I'm glad you have to. I'm just honestly sad, but I know I want to be forever, and God, make no mistakes. Glad you're feeling better." This particular account on this device replied, "Yeah, I know it hurts to know, but you can talk to me about your feelings if you want to express anything. I want you to take care of yourself better and not let yourself go down the path of just turning to drinking and smoking more to heal." The Porter Jarius account replied, "Of course, Shawty, and LOL, don't forget, working out too. It's some good going on too, but you're right, I've been planning on slowing down." This device's account replied, "I know you're working out too, LOL, but still, don't be doing that extra stuff."
And the next text message that we have.
This was a message, actually, I'm sorry, I printed out in black and white, but this was a message from this particular device, specifically saying, "Blaise told me last night he signed up for monthly subscriptions of diapers from this company, Kudos, LOL."
And what's the date, I'm sorry, on this text message?
1/10/2023, and I can't read the time, so. But I just need to move it over.
7:42?
Yes, 7:42:10 p.m.
And can we get you to read this text message?
Yes, this was a text message from the account 1-501-231-5975, asking the question of this device, "Does Blaise rub your belly? LOL." This particular device replied, "Sometimes."
And do we know who the number 501-231-5975 is?
I don't think I do offhand, so.
There were other messages, I'm sorry. What is the date? I apologize. On that text message, if you remember before I pulled it up.
I do not remember before you.
Let me grab it.
Those messages were 1/25/2023, began at 9:30:11 p.m., ended at 9:30:35 p.m.
Mr. Devlin, in your search within Ms. Benning's phone, did you happen to run across a text message between?
Objection, Your Honor.
Okay, let the lawyers. Did he receive a text between Najee and Ms. Benning?
Regarding her posting about her baby, do you remember seeing any of those text messages?
I vaguely recall that, but I couldn't give any details on it. I've seen a lot of messages, so.
And you don't remember if Ms. Jackson, Najee Jackson, asked Ms. Benning when she was going to post about her baby?
I remember that specific message of when are you going to post?
When Ms. Benning responded, do you remember it having anything to do with Blaise Taylor?
I don't recall the response, so.
Thank you. I'm past the witness.
Okay, questions from the state?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Devlin, you have gone through and testified about some random text messages. Would you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so when you said that you went through Ms. Benning's phone, did you actually take the text message that you have in your page 4 of your report? And did you actually look at the other messages surrounding it to see what context it was given? Which, Your Honor, I'm going to ask what he's doing right now on that tablet.
He's scrolling through his.
Are you looking at the report?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm trying to see what was on page 4,
Yes,
so.
no, I'm happy to. I just didn't know if you were looking at the extraction.
Oh, no. Did I see the messages, the context of messages? I did not.
Okay, so you didn't look at the messages that actually preceded Jade's message to Danny, where one of her friends said, "We please top shelf an 8," and Jade responds, "Okay, I'll let you know when he's gonna come."
I'm sorry, yes, I did see all of that. That's absolutely correct.
Okay, so this message that Jade sent, like, could I get an 8? She wasn't referring to herself because she was getting it for one of her friends.
My reading of it was that she was getting it for somebody else.
Okay. And then same thing with page 5, there are other messages that reference apple fritter. And Jade was seeing if anyone wanted this because she regularly would get
different weed from Danny weed for people that she worked with?
I mean, that particular set of messages was a frequent post within that Telegram group, so.
Okay. And going to your page 8.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so your page 8, that is not Miss Benning, that is one of her friends asking for Adderall, correct?
Correct.
And did you actually read through that message thread with Miss Benning and her friend had a valid prescription for Adderall? Did you notice that?
I remember the discussion of that, yes.
Were you familiar with the Adderall shortage that the pharmacies were having during this time frame of November 2022?
I'm not familiar with that, so.
Okay, so if pharmacies were out of Adderall during that time, which actually, if you read through the text between Ms. Jackson and Ms. Benning, they actually talk about the fact that Walgreens can't get it and everybody is out of their Adderall prescription from their doctor.
Okay.
Okay. And then, so this one, I would like for you to look at page 9, skip page 10 entirely, and look at page 11 and 12.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you connect page 9, 11, and 12 in any way?
Did I connect them? I don't guess I understand your question, so.
Okay, well, page 9 is actually the last message in a sequence of messages, but you put it first. And then when you go to page 11, you left the other person off of this thread, which is readily available in the extraction, but you left off Mario Gutierrez as the person asking Jade, can you holler at Danny, your boy needs a half?
I do recall that, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that's Mario Gutierrez, but you left his name off of this.
When I pulled it, I don't think it was included in there, but that's correct. I believe it was Mario Gutierrez.
Okay, and then page 12 follows where Ms. Benning asks Danny very specifically, and this is on February 25th, my coworker wants to get half. And Danny responds, bet I got you when I get back.
Yes, ma'am.
Which, and I apologize, page 9 doesn't actually relate other than it's from that Mario thread. The time that Mario gets anything is on February 18th, but your report listed 2 dates. It listed the 25th, which kind of inferred that the messages you included in 11 and 12 were on the 25th. But no one meets Danny on the 25th. You would agree with me about that, wouldn't you?
I have no idea if anybody met Danny on the 25th, so.
Because there's absolutely nothing in Miss Benning's phone that indicates that happened. It's the opposite. Danny said, I'm not here. I'll hit you when I get back.
I do recall that further messages where he said, I'll hit you when I get back.
Okay. And on page 13, this section is labeled a conversation about Blaise Taylor. And that conversation, that's not the only one, correct?
There's quite a few messages about Blaise Taylor.
Okay. And this is from December 31st of 2022. And then again, the next section that you have that begins on page 16, that is not the only communication that they have, correct?
No, they had quite a few communications.
Okay. And then we get to page 19, which is plans with Blaise Taylor. And again, on page 20, for some reason, even though it's in the extraction, you left off the person Ms. Benning was speaking with. And this is from the date of 2/25/23 at 12:03. She messages her best friend, Jade Jackson, to tell her that she's gonna plan to do a little paint with Blaise tonight. So you didn't put in the thread that they were talking about where to get the paint and maybe Dollar Tree would have it. That may be connected to why she stopped at Walmart?
I remember all those communications. I know that There were some, even some pictures. I believe there was a picture of the crib as a part of it. There was talk about what they were going to paint. So I mean, there's a couple of those messages. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then on page 22, you have this Bumble information, which you have an install date. But you didn't include the message that showed that Ms. Benning registered for Bumble in August of 2022.
This was, when I ran this particular search term, this is what came up. But we talked about those messages before. I did see a message back in August of 22 that showed a previous registration for Bumble.
And did you notice that the app was only in focus for 119 seconds?
Not very long.
23? It was very quick, wasn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
And you don't have any user data to show what was happening when she accessed that app.
Correct.
And so like, if I thought that Kendall had a Bumble profile and I just wanted to go click on it to look at it, to kind of give her some feedback as a girlfriend, it could have just been that.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then you included some random messages with Mr. Jerry's Porter. Did you notice that they were very close friends?
They appeared to communicate quite a bit, so during that period.
As very close friends.
I don't know enough about them. I just know I was asked to pull these messages. So.
Okay. And then the last messages that you apologize for being in black and white, so they don't have a page number. Do you know what I'm referring to?
I do know the message you're referring to. So.
Okay, so this is January 25th of 2023, and it's just a message from Jade's mother asking her, does Blaise rub your belly? And Jade responds, sometimes.
Right.
Did you keep reading the messages on where her and her mom actually message back and forth and draft a message from Jade to send to Blaise to tell her how much she wanted him to go to her OB appointment where she was gonna find out the gender of their baby?
I recall something along those lines. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you recall the messages where Blaise Taylor did not go to that appointment, correct?
I'm unaware if Mr. Taylor went to that appointment or not. So
You didn't look at those messages where
I-
he didn't show up?
I read through them. As to whether or not he did or didn't, I don't recall that. So
Well, do you recall that he never went to a single OB appointment with Jade Benning?
Objection, speculation, this witness doesn't know that.
Okay, you can ask whether he reviewed any text about that.
Did you review any text messages where every time she had an appointment and asked him about it, he didn't go?
Objection, counsel is testifying. And
Do you recall any text messages about appointments?
No, Your Honor.
The appointment?
No,
you
Your
don't
Honor.
recall.
And the last message where Ms. Benning tells her mother that Blaise told her the night before that he signed up for a monthly subscription for diapers from this company. Did you find any other mention that proved that Mr. Taylor actually signed up for a diaper subscription?
no, I did not.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Mr. Devlin, you were just asked the nature of the relationship between Jerry's Porter and Miss Benning, weren't you?
Correct.
Were you aware that Jerry's
Objection, Your
Porter,
Honor, can we approach?
well, she opened the door when she asked the question.
I don't know what you're wanting to ask, but you can approach it.
Thank you.
Were you aware, you stated on cross-examination that Ms. Benning actually downloaded Bumble first in August?
I found a registration message. It may have happened, Bumble may have been downloaded before that, but that would have been at least the earliest time that I know of.
Were you aware, or did you find out through looking through the phone that Blaise and Ms. Benning met on Hinge in the same month of August 22?
I did not see that, so.
In regards to Mario Gutierrez, did you notice through the phone that Mario Gutierrez is the significant other of Lauren Weber?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mario Gutierrez on the 25th is the same one asking Jade to get her narcotics.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's Lauren Weber, the person who went inside of her home when was told not to, the crime scene. That is her.
Okay, see, there's disputes about it, so don't throw that up like it's true. So what is your question?
Your Honor, she said she did it. In regards,
What?
she said she went inside of Miss Benning's
Right,
home.
we've heard that, but there's nothing about police. We've heard all that today. The jury's heard it. So what is your question that this gentleman would have a foundation about?
Did you have an opportunity to look through the text messages between Jade Benning and Jarius Porter?
Yes.
Did you find that they were a little bit more than just friends?
Having read through the messages, I don't know if they were just friends or if they were what they call friends with benefits. I don't know. So.
In regards to the appointment of I think it was a February 2nd appointment for Ms. Benning to go to the doctor to find out the sex of the baby. Did you see any text messages where, well, let me first ask you this. Did you learn through the text messages that Mr. Taylor worked for the Tennessee Titans?
I don't recall seeing that, so.
Did you see through the text messages that on that very same day, he had to work or had an assignment at work with the Tennessee Titans?
If I did, I don't remember that, so.
In regards to the Bumble application, and I think that the question that was asked of you on cross-examination was that it could be an app where someone will go and say hello to a girlfriend. Is that what was stated?
I mean, I thought the question that was asked of me was, is it possible that somebody logged in to see if their girlfriend's profile was on there? I thought that was what was asked.
What is the primary purpose of the app Bumble?
They call it a social contact website, but for the most part, it is a hookup or dating application.
And this is the very app that Jade Benning registered for in August and then downloaded again. And I think you said February.
Correct.
Thank you, I'll pass.
Any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Honor.
Sorry, let the lawyer step up. Please, please, Blaise Taylor, the jury, down to a few other witnesses, but we have to have another jury out hearing, so instead of sending you back out, come back in at whatever time, we're going to recess for the day for your purposes. Remember what I've said about not discussing the case, forming any opinion about it, looking things up, watching anything on the media, ignore all of that. And tomorrow, be back in the morning, 8:45, 8:50, we'll get you up here and resume the trial. Thank you very much. You can step down. And I mentioned that the bench conference about having a jury out hearing the state back to this document. Well, let me ask this. Is Dr. Larkin out there?
Your Honor, that please use the lady I've been holding.
Okay. All right, we'll take 10 minutes and then hear briefly from her.
According to the 2-minute recess.